some warm-up drills that we can do. We'll start off. A lot of these have just rhythms to them. So there's the first one which has 6 count. So that's going to be placing your foot on the ground 6 times. The other one's 4 count. That's putting your feet on the ground 4 times each time you turn. When you do the 6 count walk around, it's more working on positioning. So you got a lot of steps, a lot of moments to try to get right. The 4 count is going to be working on your rhythm. Just kind of, it's going to be moving a little faster. You just have to kind of flow into it. So you can do start off with 2 balls sometimes. You can mix it up however you want. So I'll start off usually with the 6 count. Stuart has to start off with. We usually don't do too many of them. Show you the left hand. I guess I'll describe them afterwards. The 2-hand walk around, you know, it helps. You have 2 balls, so you kind of have a better feeling for staying in the middle. So you kind of get them pulled in both directions. You want to keep the balls, left one right off the left side, right one right off the right side. Try to stay right in the middle. Try to stay down a little bit. And yeah, you want to just keep them out of your eyes, being able to, so you're not pulling one way or pulling in the other direction. You want to be able to hear your feet on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. Trying to step in with a heel each time. Looking right at 180. You're trying to hit that spot each time. Okay. To the left hand, 6 count. Left hand, you want to keep the ball off your left side. You want to helps to create the feeling of just kind of letting the ball run to the left, get in front of you a little bit. Just kind of help give you the feeling of getting pulled in a little bit. So you want to let it kind of run in front of you. You don't want to get too far ahead of it. We'll go to the right hand. Right hand, you want to keep the right hand with the right leg. You don't want to try to let it, get anywhere in front. You want to keep them locked together. We're really working on, he taught me to, once you start getting a little bit better at it, start getting used to striking the ball with your right hand. You want to really start getting used to the right hand. So each time you come in, you do that last step. Told me to pretend as if there's a line right down the middle. You want to pretend as if you're striking it down with your right hand. So when I come around, push. So you kind of get that, you get used to the push begins from the moment your foot's coming down and all the way around right back to 180. It kind of gives you that feeling. Give you a 2-hand 4 count. So you give me step on the ground 4 times, more rhythmic. Try to make sure they're, you know, trying to stay squared. Try not to like lean one way or the other, so look for that. So you don't want them leaning back too much. You know, he always told me when he first taught me this is monkey position. You know, your feet are just going to be kind of outwards like that. You're going to be just hung over. I think a lot of it, what it does, it doesn't want you getting so stiff and rigid because as you go on, you know, you want to sit back once the throw gets going. So if the throw's not really going very hard or fast like when you're doing the drills, there's really no need to be stiff and sitting back. So you want to stay loose. You want to start getting that feeling early on doing the drills. And I'll show you the left hand. 4 count. So just keep letting it run to the left, focusing on dropping down. The drop's I mean, it's give or take. You don't want to overemphasize it too much. Last time I went to go see him, I was really practicing the drop hard, and I mean, all he mentions is just kind of, you know, you want to just get that position fast. You want to go on the heel. And the reason why he mentions the heel is he believes that if you're trying to go on the toe, it's going to give you a lift upwards. So what you want to start to do is get used to the heel so you end up staying down, recruiting the stabilizing muscles in your legs. I mean, personally, every time I focus more on the heel, I do feel a lot more balanced, and the throw ends up, you know, feeling longer. So I do feel like it does help. And he says that, you know, as you get going, you might not be able to get the heel in, but you're not trying to go on your toe. So you might be getting pulled and then you catch your toe. So, I mean, but you're not going to be as far over as you might have been if you were actually just kind of stepping on the toe. So this is the right hand. 4 count. Trying to strike. One of the hard things doing it is, you know, try not to keep your entire side locked on with, you know, you want to still stay squared, let the ball do what it needs to do. When you're focusing on dropping, you just have to tell them, you know, a lot of people are learning how to drop going laterally. You want to just think of it as just going right down within yourself, just like this. So to try to get them used to that feeling, it's a straight up and down, just a quick drop of the left knee, getting that foot in, not trying to extend yourself, because once you start extending yourself laterally, it'll start to add a lot of extra movement if you don't move. Alright, so I hope you can hear me okay. And after I do some drills, warm up, another way to get into throwing is usually Stuart has me start off with a weight drill when I train with them. I usually work the bag a little bit, holding positions, working through stuff. And then he starts me off with the weight. We build up with that. I'll show you a little later. One good way with the weight with the hammer throwing is I like to start off with a walk around into a throw is what it's called. So you usually do it with 4 counts, because 6 counts is not rhythmic. So you usually do 4 counts, 2 of them, and then you start off. And if you're a toe turner, you'll step in and then you start with the toe. Toe turns, you want to start opening up that left knee to the throw. Try to get into a good position like this, back against the ball. You want to watch, make sure your shoulders are even during the throw. So I'm just going to do one and I'll talk about it later. This is my first one, so be nice. Alright, so last couple weeks I've been working more on trying to sit back against the throw when I'm coming through. So one good way of thinking about sitting back is sitting to the right. So as I step in, sitting to the right, that's really what helped me a lot. So to the right is the direction that you want to, basically your spine's going to be going backwards, right there. It's not necessarily like at the hip. It's going to be kind of like leaning backwards, but you're going to have to just try to get them to stay down and tell them to keep their knees bent when they can. So right when I come in, sitting back, you got to do it early. Let the ball go right back to 180. He talked about right hand, right ball staying together, so when you're turning, trying to keep them together. You want to try to leave the left side a little less active. So when you get to this point, you want to think of it as a post leg, and you're basically winding your right arm, right ball, going together right around it. Thinking this is going to be about the takeoff point, probably right around the right side, the right sector line. So throwing the ball, turning your leg, right hand to that point, take off, try to catch them. You're going to want to try to step in, be on the ground while catching the ball back there. And then sit back, throw it again. So once again, 4-count walk around, two of them. And I'm going to do an entry with a toe turn. I'm not really turning my right side too well into the finish, but all in all, not bad throws. I got one more here. You just want to get them to really start focusing on 180. You want to start, one thing I know my distances might not be improving miraculously. I'm not really focused on that. I'm focusing on the basics, just trying to make things easier. But I'm getting a lot more of my throws, down the middle area, and that builds a lot of confidence in my technique. So really, each time I'm coming around, your eyes will lead right ahead a little bit, just so you're able to see 180, and you should always be able to see it in some sort of a way. When you get faster, you should have a general idea where you're looking. You're not supposed to freeze on 180 and stare at it, but you should have a good idea. Put a couple more heel turns into that one. You might be able to see. It really helps me stay stabilized. I might have put it in on that last one. I could have used a little more twist with the right leg. The finishing position that he's looking for is, and the way we practice it, it's kind of like this. You just turn right back, put your hands to 180 or beyond where you want to catch it. Turn right onto your heel. Try and turn the right. First thing you're going to want to do is you pick up your leg for a moment. When you start turning it, bringing the hands down, you want to sit back, post that left leg, hands go right to 180, right back. And you want to be back like this. You want to watch for a leaning on the left, down like that. You're just trying to watch for keeping it square. You want to drive those hands right back. You want to stay down. He says, you don't want to, explode your legs up into the finish. You want to, that'll happen after the ball is gone. So you release, the ball will then lift you out of your position. So just let them stay down, stay back against the ball, and that's going to make some nice, fast and easy throws. Alright, I'm going to take a few real throws, kind of. About the entry, the winds. So, probably the least knowledge that I have. I mean, he changes things up. One thing he does like us to have is say, this is 0, that's 180. Just you put your left foot on 180, and 0. And then your right foot's going to be around the circle and kind of to about the instep to the left foot. So a slight stagger. And you want your hips to face over here a little bit. So I'm not actually squared up to 0, but I'm off to the side. And he's going to want to pendulum the ball right up to the left with your left arm. You want to push it up. So this would be pulling. You want to push it with your palm up to the sky, to up here. Just let it swing back, and then that's when you want to add the right hand. And I think it's very important to start using the winds to really get the right hand active. So that's a really important piece to start feeling that right hand, striking the ball down from 180. The right hand's going to be pushing the ball over to the left, striking it down from here, pushing it over to the left. It's important that you're not putting the left side into it. You don't need the left, even if you're not using the left arm, you can still be using the left side by simply dipping down to the left, leaning in a direction. So I even find it just recently important to try to stay level, because I find myself coming in, dipping to the left. I'm not pulling with my left, but I'm dipping downward. So keeping them square, and I find it really hard when you come around, the ball's pushing to the left, keep your eyes over in this area, don't let your head go. Keep it over here, let the ball run, try not to let the shoulder completely drop. Try to keep them square. Let the ball come back around. You want to turn back so your shoulders are open and about, flushed with 180. You want to see the ball come down right around this area, and then you want to strike it down again. You want to come back. You want to see the ball strike from this area. You don't want to stare at it, but you do need to make sure that you have the awareness of where it is and where you're coming around from. Always using your right hand. I'm just going to do one wind. It's just a nice, easy way to set it up. Keep it simple. And that's all the way over there. One of the reasons I probably went over there was probably for my entry. I didn't get off the ground fast enough, so I kind of was getting in a little late. So one of the things Stuart and I were just working on is after we watched the video, we noticed I just need to get off the ground faster. Start getting in a little earlier. Yeah, so when you come off the wind, you want to open up that knee. You want to get it in this position and keep opening it up, turning the heel inwards. And he just talks about that as just another wind. So you just want to guide the ball around with the right hand. Try to stay back against the ball. You don't want to go that way. You don't need to sit, but you just want to make sure your ball's not pulling you out of your position. You can do one line again. Really not doing a good job of turning the right foot at the end. A lot of the problems over the past year that I feel like you know, if I'm having a bad day with my release, I really find that it's really helps a lot just to start working on getting the heel in. You can start feeling that turning a lot better. You can start feeling your right foot being more active. And you can even slow the throws down to a good level where you're actually getting that last turn, heel into the release, and really start feeling the turning of the foot. Alright. I'll just do a 2-1. I'll just show you the entire throw. I'm not really going to go very hard, but so I'm basically going to start on the edge of the circle, start with my left foot, right, throw my left up to the center, throw the ball up, and then step in. So as the ball is going up and hitting its apex, your right foot's getting into that spot, facing over to the right. Important, keep that right hand into it early. It's really easy to lose it during the end of the throw, so if you don't have it at the beginning, you're not going to have it at the end. All right. Alright, let's see how this goes thrown from here. Just some drills that we can do that sometimes Stuart he has had me do before when I've seen him is left hand throws and right hand throws. So I brought the weight out for you. They're a little easier, I think, just to do with the weight. It's definitely harder to do these, I think, with the hammer. So it's something to get used to. But you can do these same drills with a hammer, except with a hammer you can just start with the walk around counts. Start with 4 rhythm counts. They don't really go very far, and you're just gonna start. You usually start with the left hand first. Try to line up on 180. With the weight throw, he wants this foot's face forward on 180, and this one turned out to, what is that, 270 degrees off the heel of the left foot. So you're just going to just rotate around, drop that left knee. Alright, so when you're doing the left hand, the point is the same as the walk arounds. You want to let the ball run. You want to throw it ahead of you. So that's where you get used to kind of the post leg. Throw it. Throw it. Throw it. Throw it. And same thing when you're doing it with the left hand. You don't want to slap that at the end. You want to lift. You want to lift the ball right up, just like Dr. J always taught us. So just lift the ball from here. You just sit back, lift. It's going to be kind of hard to lift, you know, when you only have one hand. So I don't have a glove on, but I'll do it anyways. Usually this is where it helps to have gloves when you do it right-handed or with the hammer throwing. The right hand is a lot harder to get, and it doesn't go as far. Okay, thing with the right hand, you want to just keep it with the right side, and it starts to take, it really is a harder throw to get used to sitting back on it. Right hand, try to keep them together. And same with the finish, sit back, just try to lift the arm up. I think on that one I probably just started to rise up a little bit too much. so I can pull out of my position. Alright, one thing with Stewart, if you are a toe turner, just practice everything with a toe turn. You'll be a lot happier. It is uncomfortable doing the walk around, and starting off with the toe turn is different, but it gets used to. Essentially, if you step in after the walk around and you have to do a toe, it's just like coming off the wind. You want to catch the wind back there and bring the ball all the way around again. I'll show you a 3-turn throw. He usually just has me do 3 turns. I know I can do 4, but he says 3 turns is just fine. One thing he worked on with me is slowing down. I always kind of went slow and then I went really, really fast. So hopefully I'm just adding better stabilization, just taking it longer and easier. Working on the technique, that's what's important. When you come around at the beginning, you want to keep that weight in the left leg. You want to try to, he always tells us to drop that left knee. One of the first motions, opening the leg up, or if you're a heel turner, get down on that heel. Start turning onto the heel. So one of the first motions is just getting set, moving the left side. And you want to start the throw with your right hand. So getting used to the right hand coming through, trying to stay back and not let it pull you around. Alright, I'll make my best attempt at doing a wind. So he usually has me start off sometimes walk around, sometimes with the left and then the right. And then usually we start off, we call this the static start. So I usually start off with the static, you know, until it's looking good. I mean, I don't want to move into the winds when the static starts looking terrible, because then the winds are going to be just as bad. With the winds, just the same thing. Walk up, pendulum it up, step that leg out. Tell them to be careful not to whack their leg up. I've actually thrown the weight into my shin before, so just letting it loop down, like same thing like the hammer. See this area, right hand the ball, come back, see this, turn inside the ball, keep it easy, nice and easy, relax, and the rain's coming. All right, let's see what I got.